Simple Shapes, Part 1. Today we will learn how different shapes are measured and why do shapes need to be measured.
Vandana, look, my father has given me this book.
Oh, this is a very big book. I too have a big book.
See this. Yes, it is also a big book, but my book is much bigger.
No, I think my book is bigger than yours.
Look, my book is bigger than your book.
Look, from this side my book looks much bigger.
Oh yes, my book is bigger from one side. And your book is bigger from this side. Then whose book is bigger?
Let's ask Madam.
Yes, let's go. Madam, we have to ask you something.
Sure. Madam, we have these two books. We have to know which one of these two books is bigger. That is very easy to find. Vandana and Neha, you try to find out which of these two books occupies more space.
But how will we know which book is bigger?
Different shapes are measured based on how much space they occupy. Both these books are a quadrilateral, meaning they have four sides or edges. Madam, it means that to find out which one of these two books is bigger, we have to find out how much space it occupies. Yes.
But madam, how can we find out how much space a shape occupies?
It is very easy to find out. For this purpose, we use square-shaped pieces. You can also make these pieces using paper, cardboard or plastic. I have square-shaped pieces made of plastic. All the sides of these pieces are 5 centimeters each. You take these pieces and place them on these books in such a way that it covers the whole book so that the pieces remain within the boundary of the book.
Madam, I don't understand fully. Can you show how to perform one book so we can do the other one ourselves?
Alright, check this out. This is your book. Now we place the square-shaped plastic pieces on top of this book in such a way that there are no gaps between the pieces.
Madam, the book is completely covered with square-shaped pieces. But how do we know the measurement?
Of course, we know now that we need 36 pieces to cover this book. Now measure the other book in the same way. Then you will know yourself which book is bigger.
Okay, now we will measure the second book. We place these square-shaped pieces on the other book in such a way that no piece is placed on top of each other.
Now tell me, Vandana, how many pieces did you need to cover this book?
We used 35 pieces to cover this book.
Now tell me, whose book required more pieces to cover?
Madam, 35 pieces were used to cover my book, whereas 36 pieces were required to cover Neha's book. That means, Madam, more pieces were required to cover my book.
So does this mean that Neha's book is bigger than mine? Yes, because Neha's book will occupy as much space as 36 pieces. And your book will occupy as much space as 35 pieces. This means that Neha's book occupies more space than your book. That means Neha's book is bigger.
Now I understand why we can say that Neha's book is bigger than my book. Like this, what are the objects we can measure?
Whenever you asked to measure a shape, you can use this method, Neha and Vandana.
Give us some examples, madam.
Alright, Neha. See, you can measure the desks of your class. You can also measure the board in your class in the same way. Field measurements are also taken in this way.
But madam, why do we need to measure like this?
See, Vandana, every object has a different purpose, and that purpose defines how the object will be measured. For example, when making your class desk, special attention is paid to all the things that will be placed on it. The more items that can be placed on it, the more useful it becomes. So, to measure your class desk, we will measure how much space it occupies. Similarly, the efficiency of a farm depends on how many plants can be planted in it. If the field is small, it occupies less space, then fewer plants can be planted on it. And if the field covers more space, then more plants can be planted on it. Therefore, to measure a field, we will measure how much space it occupies.
Understood, madam. Madam, can you give us these pieces? We will measure a lot of objects with this.
Why not, Vandana? Keep this with you and measure different objects with it.
Thank you, madam. Now we can measure many objects.
Today you learned that to measure any shape, we find how much space it occupies. And to measure some items like fields, desks, etc., we measure the area they cover. Size of simple shapes, Part 2. Today we will learn how to measure how much space a shape occupies if we do not have enough pieces to measure. Neha and Vandana, what would you like to learn today?
No, madam. We have not come to learn anything but to take something.
Tell me, what do you want?
Madam, actually, we need more of the plastic square-shaped pieces you gave us to measure the shapes.
Why?
Because we are measuring our desk, but the pieces which you have given us are not enough. We are unable to cover the whole desk with them.
You can measure the desk with them even without covering the entire desk.
How?
Let's go to your class. I will help you understand how we can measure your desk even if you don't have all the pieces.
See, madam, all the pieces have been used, but we could not measure the desk.
With so many pieces, we can easily measure the size of the desk. See, I will explain. To measure this shape, I will place these pieces on it. Vandana, now you tell us how many pieces were required to cover this shape completely?
4.
Let me remove one of these pieces. Now Neha, you tell me, with the help of just 3 pieces, how can we know that 4 pieces will be required to cover this shape entirely?
It is very easy. There is an empty space equal to 1 piece. So by looking at it, we can tell that 4 pieces will cover this shape completely.
You can certainly find out by looking, but in mathematics, there is a better way to find it.
That I don't know, ma'am.
No problem. I will tell you. Tell me, how many pieces are placed in the top row?
2 pieces, madam.
Now, Neha, you tell me how many pieces are placed in the side row?
Madam, the side row also has 2 pieces.
You both are right. Now we will multiply the number of pieces placed in the top row by the number of pieces placed in the side row. This will tell us how many pieces will be required to cover this shape.
That means to know how many pieces will be required to cover this shape, we have to multiply 2 by 2. Am I right?
Yes.
Multiplying 2 by 2 will give us 4. That means 4 pieces are required to cover this shape.
Yes. But madam, in this particular shape, we could just count and find out. Yes, in this particular shape, you could count and find out. But it is not so easy to count when there are very large shapes, such as your desk. In such situations, this method works better.
Now we will try to measure the desk.
Yes, go ahead.
18 pieces are placed on the top row of the desk and 6 on the side. So we multiply them to identify how many pieces will be required to cover the entire desk. We get 108 on multiplying 6 by 18. So does this mean that we will require 108 pieces to cover this desk completely?
Yes. Wow, this method is very good. In this way, if we know the number of pieces used in the top row and the side row, we can find out the total pieces required. That is why I said you don't need more pieces for this. Today we learned by multiplying the pieces placed on the top row and the side row of any shape, you can find out how many pieces will be required to cover the shape completely. That is, to measure a shape, we don't need to cover the entire shape. We only require enough pieces to cover the top and side edges. Size of simple shapes Part 3. Today we will learn the correct way to measure shapes with the help of square-shaped pieces. My cardboard is big. No, Reyansh, my cardboard is much bigger.
Hey, what happened, Reyansh and Ayushman? What are you both arguing about?
There is nothing to argue about. Ayushman has a small cardboard and I have a bigger one. No, Reyansh, how many times should I tell you that your method of measuring the cardboard is wrong?
Show me, how have you both measured?
Look, Neha, 36 pieces were required to cover my cardboard, whereas 35 pieces were required to cover Ayushman's cardboard. This means that my piece of cardboard is bigger.
Hey, Reyansh, Ayushman is right. You have incorrectly measured the cardboard.
Why? What's wrong with it?
Look, you have placed few pieces on top of each other. That is a wrong way to measure.
So, you can't place the pieces on top of each other?
Yes, the pieces should not be overlapped and there should be no gaps between them, like Ayushman has placed. That's how you will get the correct measurement.
Okay, so what should I do now?
Now, remove all these cards and measure again. This time, don't place the pieces on top of each other.
Okay. Yes, now the pieces are placed correctly. Now you can tell the correct measurement. 32 pieces were required to cover my cardboard, whereas 35 pieces were required to cover Ayushman's cardboard. This means that my cardboard is small. Now, my craft work will be smaller. Hey, Reyansh, don't be disappointed. We will work on the craft together and make the biggest craft work in the whole class. But we don't have colored paper for such a big craft work. I have a very large colored paper. See this? It is very big indeed. How will we measure it? We don't have enough pieces.
We don't even need a lot of pieces. We only require enough pieces to measure the two sides of this paper, Ayushman.
I don't understand.
I will explain. Just place these pieces on two sides of this paper. Till then, I will return these pieces which I took from Madam.
Okay.
Hey Ayushman, placing the pieces like this won't give you the exact measurement. They have to be placed on the top and side edges.
What difference does that make?
See, When you have to measure a shape with fewer pieces, then we multiply the number of pieces placed on two sides.
Yes, there are pieces placed on two sides. Now we can multiply them. There are 10 pieces placed on the top edge and there are 10 pieces placed on the lower edge. When we multiply them, we get the answer 100.
This answer is incorrect. To find out the correct answer, we have to place the pieces on the top and on the side.
Okay, I will remove the pieces placed at the bottom and I will add pieces to the side.
Yes, now this is correct.
What difference does it make?
It will make a difference. Now let's multiply the number of pieces placed on top by the number of pieces placed on the side.
10 pieces are placed on the top and 9 pieces are placed on the side. And multiplying these numbers will give us result 90.
Look, it made a difference. First answer was coming to be 100 pieces. Now the answer coming 90 pieces. And this is the correct answer. So a total of 90 pieces will be required to cover this paper.
Oh, now I get it. This method is much better. With this, any shape can be measured with fewer pieces.
Yes, that's what I was saying.
Today we learned that to measure a shape, when we place the pieces on it, they are placed in such a way that there are no gaps between them, and we have to keep in mind that the pieces are not placed on top of each other. And to accurately measure a shape, it is important to cover the two sides of that shape, the top and the side edge.